This is our DB-11 power distribution module for the FX6. It's available in a gold mount and a V-mount version, and you can choose between a hard-mounted camera version and a 15mm rod-mounted version. This box can accept an ARRI standard 3-pin Fischer trigger signal and translate it into LANC. And to do that, we'll install our remote cable onto the back of our box before we install this on the camera body. Align our 2 screws. Use a 4mm or 5/32 Allen wrench. The DB-11 has a friction hinge built in, so you can grab your battery plate and pull it out to access your media, your internal battery, and your cable management. We'll plug in our remote cable to the remote port of the camera body. Then we'll route our power cable, give that a turn, and plug that in. Now we can close the box. Another neat feature of the camera-mounted version is you can unlock the friction knob here and pull this off to pack your bag more easily. You can also reposition this 15mm rod clamp onto rods behind the camera if you need to change the balance of your rig. Smaller batteries like the BP-U 35 fit nicely inside the camera, but these larger batteries can also fit with the DB-11. Just hinge this out, drop in your battery, and depending on the length of your battery, you can just adjust the hinge to fit it nicely. This rod bracket is currently a 3D print, but the final version will be metal. You can grab the battery plate just like you could with the camera-mounted version and pull this out to access your media, your battery, and your cable management. The DB-11 has 2 D-taps up top at battery voltage, a 5-volt USB at 3 amps, 2 3-pin Fischers at 24 volts and 2.5 amps, 2 2-pin LEMOs at battery voltage, and on the bottom we have a 4-pin XLR DC input. When we install our battery, the LED corresponding to the battery illuminates here, showing that that's the active source. If we install a 4-pin XLR into our DC input, the DB-11 switches to the DC input as a priority so that you can leave your onboard battery fully charged. The DC input is used down to about 12.5 volts. At that point, the onboard battery takes over. We're going to dive into some details about power management. The FX6 typically uses about 1 amp when it's operating, and we have a setting on the side of the box here for battery capability. Typically, an unmarked battery will be able to supply up to 10 amps. This one is capable of 12, and some are even up to 20 amps. So check your battery and then mark the switch accordingly to match that battery. Right now we have it in a 10 amp mode, and for this demonstration we'll leave it there. Again, the camera is using 1 amp, so the 9 amps remaining is allotted to the accessories. This box will monitor what your accessory draw is, and if you exceed 9 amps, the outputs will be disabled and the camera will stay on, allowing you to stop recording and not corrupt your clip. This box will demonstrate what happens in an overcurrent situation. The red light will come on. The camera is still operating, but power has been disabled to our outputs. Once you fix the configuration to get below that 9 amp threshold, you can push the reset button and then power will be turned back on to your outputs. The DB-11 is available now at MID49.com.